Hello and welcome to this channel. This is the Eradicator, and today we're going to discover this week's episode of Around the Verse. I'll be giving you my comments, my reactions, my insight to everything that's been said in this week's episode. But before that, I got a little message for you. Yeah, this month we're having a giveaway. Guess what, guys? It's the anniversary of the channel. That's right, I started working on this channel last year at the same period, and I really want to give back, guys, everything you've given to me, all that love, all that support, these comments. Really, you're making this possible, and the least I could do is to organize this giveaway. I am going to give away a 325A with lifetime insurance. I've actually unmelted this one back in January, as you can see. I already had this giveaway in plan and in mind, and it's happening. So all you need to do is to subscribe to this channel and comment one of the videos that are going to be posted this month in February. What I'm going to do next on March 4th at 2 p.m. Beijing time. Now, mark this down in your calendar. March 4th, 2 p.m. Beijing time. There will be a lucky draw. It will be live streamed, so we can know live which video is going to be the winning video and which comments from that winning video is going to get that magnificent 325 A with LTI. Good luck to everybody. Again, thank you so much. This is the Eradicator, and you are watching my channel. Alright, guys, here we go. This week's episode of Around the Verse. I'm discovering that with you guys.
Cyclone, the original. Cyclone! 4 new ways to answer the call of Cyclone. Start with the Cyclone RC. Molded for motion. This one is
Oh
fast
yeah,
as
so
hell.
they're having
Now, here's the
Cyclone
new Cyclone
commercials.
RN with
I don't know
better
if this is
skating for your
fan-made or if
scouting
this is from
What's
CIG.
that you say? Speak up. I can't hear you. You want a machine gun? Then choose the Cyclone TR. And the new Cyclone AA with new features like this really huge gun. You can take down ships, take down anything you want to. It's huge. Answer the call of Cyclone, the original and still the darn tootin' best vehicle of its kind. You're ahead in a tumbrel all the way.
Hello and welcome to another episode.
Well, it looks pretty well done.
I'm Eric Davis.
And I'm Josh Herman.
Paging Mr. Herman.
Nice to see Eric Karen Davis again in the show. I think Josh Herman was also here last week.
Today we check in with the VFX team on thruster effects, get the scoop on some new weapons coming in Alpha 3.0.
All right, weapons.
Jared returns.
Yay, Jared's back.
And we get a lot closer to ArcCorp with a look at environment tile sets.
I love environments.
And I love ArcCorp, so
And
that's
I love
great.
tile sets.
Great. We all love that.
The Sombra Corporation got together for King of the Ground.
Oh, more of that community stuff. You know, it's interesting because there's quite some backlash. There's been some backlash in the forums lately about the current format of Around the Verse, and I have to say I am not too satisfied with the current format of Around the Verse. They're spending too much time with community things. There used to be a show called Citizen of the Verse, which used to be centered on the verse. I guess there was not enough audience for that, so now they're putting community things in Around the Verse. But yeah,
different aspects are being developed, and that includes VFX work. Now let's go to Jacob Beckley.
so
for more on
yeah, so more cool
In
effects.
the new FCS system, you're going to be able to have your thrusters damage on your spaceship. This is really going to affect how combat works and the way your ship flies. However, there needs to be a visual representation.
Oh,
of
yeah,
those
that would be
players.
cool to
You need
see
be able
that.
See how damaged both their opponent's spaceship is and their own. We're currently in the research and development stage, trying to achieve a visual goal that we want to get across all spaceships, so that there is the same band of quality across the board. This phase is really fun. I get to
Yeah,
kind
the
of
blue flame looks pretty
throw
pretty
stuff
nice.
and see what sticks. I can just
Now we also
throw
need
loads of fire
to
and
realize that
loads of
it's
sparks
pretty
and
hard to
kind
get
of
fire
get to
in
be
space.
excessive. I don't have to worry about optimizing
And it's
anything
more like
or
plasma
kind of making it
compared to
work
fire,
much.
so
We're gonna go
it also
visual
needs
with
to
one,
be
this is awesome. How can
realistic
we
so that it
make
can be
that work
immersive too.
and make it work well? Within the visual effects, there's going to be a lot of sparks and dust from fire, plasma, anything you kind of looks chaotic, and it's got to look really obvious. We wanting to really put in like big plumes of fire coming out, big like explosions of smoke coming out. Maybe once your thruster gets like absolutely destroyed, we're gonna have big sort of whirling fire wind. Maybe
That would be
back if
awesome.
we can.
You know, some people coming back to Portal
Where I go
Isar
about
with
creating
these,
is using
you know,
arc
these
welder, as
damage
I would for, say,
thrusters.
However, I
Can't
need
wait
to
for
go
that.
into
Yeah,
for
yeah, that's pretty cool.
We've got new things with the IFCS2 that allow me to control the damage amount being fed into my particles and use them to manipulate how things work and how things look at specific points in the damage. It needs to work on all levels of damage, from barely being hit to fully being destroyed. The more variants we can show to people, the more we can decide and get more feedback.
Hey, Eric.
Hey, yep.
What is your favorite ship in Star Citizen?
It's funny. You should
Well, I don't care, but yeah, it's nice to see that, you know, what they're working in studio, some of the core designs that they're working on, and see that around the verse. That's what this show is about. It's too bad there's not
Teams
enough.
around the world are firing on all thrusters, building out the ships you're going to see in the upcoming Alpha 3.
Jared is back.
For the Origin 890 jump, we're in gray box phase. The teams
Nice.
have completed the white box layout and are now building out the geometry.
Look at this
that will
beauty.
Lay the groundwork for final art. Part of what we're doing
Whoa,
right now.
whoa, 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 whoa! Got to stop this here. Guys, that is not a moon that we know.
Now in gray box is determining the proper turret placements for this very
Guys, do you see what's on the bottom there? These are lakes. And there's that big... That's Microtech. Oh my gosh. This is Microtech. That's the first time we see Microtech in space, in Engine. Guys, that is one hell of a... That's one heck of an Easter egg, guys. Now, what we know about Microtech. We know Microtech was terraformed, and the terraform was poorly done, and as a result, the climate is much colder than it was supposed to be. Well, we can see that thick atmosphere out there, and these different layers of atmosphere on top, which is this halo effect. We also know that it's mostly an ice planet, and you can see all that huge icy crust, but it also has tundras and seas, which is what we can see down there in the more temperate regions. This is Microtech. This is actually more interesting than the 890 jump. Sorry for those 890 jumps owners, but I cannot wait to go to Microtech. I can't wait to discover new Babbage, and wow.
very well-armed super yacht, some of which you
Can we see more?
here and here. We're
Oh
also exploring
no!
the
I want to
overall
see more of
exterior window
Microtech.
sizes and shapes, as well as thruster orientation. These aren't the final signed-off locations yet, but that's quite literally what white box and gray box is for, to work these things out. For the interior, what you see here is a mix of white box and gray box design is working.
Look at that
In the
890 jump
atrium, we
font.
really thought Times New Roman sells the notion of luxury. Hi, John Crew. I'm teasing, it's temporary. And work has begun on the master suite with some really
The
cool
master
stairs
suite.
that doubles decor. The medical bay and everyone's most requested amenity, the bathrooms.
Ah,
As development continues,
The
one of the
toilets.
things our teams want to address with the 890 jump is the sparseness found in its predecessor, the 600i. As this is still gray box, we'll have more to show you on that as the work progresses. Now, looking farther ahead into the future, we've got work continuing on the Anvil Carrack, which is also in mid-gray box.
awesome.
Up first, we'll take a look at the drone bay, Sans Drones. You can see the drone control station there in the
Oh,
back.
yeah.
With hooks for the drones up above. The mess hall, social center of any spaceship, and where your bathroom gameplay loop begins.
A bathroom gameplay.
And the bridge, where all the action happens. And you can see here.
Oh, it
we've
looks
still
pretty much
got
like the
three
Constellations
key
bridge.
seats on extension rails, and after experimenting a bit in white box with the radar globe from the Idris.
Oh, so
we've
it's a
actually
double
decided to go
deck.
back to the mapping
Double
table
decker,
that we found
awesome.
in the original concept, while work continues on the exterior, which you can see here. Now, up
Hey, where are the
note,
antennas?
Various retractable antennae on the top are simply retracted here, and will be a triggerable state so that you can decide.
Cool.
you
I
want to
think it
fly
looks
with
much
the
better without the antennae.
pointy
What do you guys
things
think?
or not pointy things. It's your call.
Yeah, it's so cool. I like that. you know.
Finally, just as we experimented with the radar globe, we've made additional iterations to the landing gear and profile of the ship, bringing the overall.
I should have gotten a Carrack for during the anniversary sale. It's really looking pretty cool. I wonder if he can fight. That's my big concern. Sometimes, you know, I can get into some entanglements.
Actually, it's looking so good. It is becoming my favorite ship.
Jared, you always
For
say
ships
that.
and
Come on.
Greybox, those are looking pretty great. Wow. We've got some updates from the world of weapons. Here's the code of pistols.
Yes.
From
Oh,
Castback
I
Arms.
love pistols. You can be sure I'm gonna make a full report about this one.
From Gemini.
Looks as cool as the SR-71, huh?
Nope. And for ships and vehicles, this concept for the mighty Tarantula ballistic cannon from Gallinson.
Now that's the one I most don't want to be shot by.
Do you prioritize these things?
Well, I am a studio director, Josh. We prioritize everything. Finally, this week, one of the most highly anticipated features of the upcoming Alpha 3.5 is the persistent universe debut of ArcCorp.
Oh yeah.
Unlike the natural beauty of Hurston, ArcCorp is covered head to toe in man-made structures.
Planets have heads and toes now.
That's
Probably not as bad as Hurston. Hurston's a complete
Let's check in
disaster. I
with
mean, it's
Luan
great, but it's
Petretti
an
for a look
environmental
at what he's
disaster.
doing building the buildings.
How the hell are they going to pull this off? Well, we're gonna
since the last
check
time
this
we were
out.
on ArcCorp, a lot has happened. We've done a lot of work with the industrial and the suburbs areas, and right now we're really trying to nail the look of the buildings and how those scatter, how the buildings around Area 18 might look.
Yes,
how
we
the
saw that
transition
last
between
time.
that and the industrial might look.
Typical
We're really trying to look
ArcCorp
at the planet
architecture
as a
with
whole
the
and try to
signature
blend all
color.
these elements in. The main focus right now for me has been on the suburbs. The suburbs.
Whoa, let's have a look at this. A little pros here. Now let's see how is it. They seem to be. I don't know if these are lines. How do people go by walk from one place to another or with vehicles? Maybe I know we don't. I know we won't be able to go there, but I like to look at these details.
Suburbs and lower suburbs area are pretty important because that's the immediate area around the landing zone. So the landing zone is composed of Area 18, some city tiles, which are kind of like, if you think about Austin, downtown Austin, where the tallest building would be Area 18. And then you have this gradual sort of rise that would be the downtown areas and the lower suburbs. And
Still looking, guys, if you look at these images from the CityCon 2017, it looks pretty different. Before, it used to have kind of a more Coruscanti-like feel. Now it seems like the buildings on ArcCorp are going to be more rectangular, more regular. They look completely different. I know they used to be placeholders, I guess.
then it would go
I
off
don't
into
know.
the industrial areas.
Well,
For the low suburbs, we're
I'm a
looking at buildings
fanboy
with no higher than
sometimes, so
350
I
to
really
400
like
meters.
that.
The reason for that
That's
is we're exploring
yeah,
different
it
heights
feels
within
like a
the
different
zone.
planet
We're
than
trying
what
to
was
elevate
showcased
the
before.
buildings on a artistic side from anywhere between 350 to
You guys tell me in the
600
comments
height.
down below what you think
Found
about the
more
new looks of
buildings at
ArcCorp.
about 400 meters, and that makes the buildings look just good enough, even though they're low poly, that they're believable for the player. And they integrate pretty well with the ground texture, which is essentially these buildings taken from higher up and baked down into a flat plane with parallax occlusion to create depth. So this kind of creates enough of a blend that it looks like a really dense city, and it looks believable enough at about 400 meters so that the no-fly zone can come into effect at that point. So from the low suburbs, you go into downtown. Downtown is all about these higher buildings that go towards Area 18. So the city tiles are a little bit more bespoke.
Oh
and
yeah,
they're
yeah.
Not
Look at
scattered procedurally by
this
the
one
plans.
right here.
So one of the tests we've tried is how would this look if it's just procedural buildings?
Oh, it looks pretty
How would it
dense. Look
if
at that
it's
density.
just tile buildings. How would this look if it's a mixture of both? So right now we're looking into maybe
Oh
having
yeah, that's
more of
the
these bespoke
some
buildings
fake
around
traffic
Area
as a
18, whereas
ground
the rest
box,
is
so to
all sort of
speak.
these procedurally scattered buildings, but maybe we can take a few more of these city tile downtown buildings and put them around the ecosystem so that you can have areas to look towards and go to, and areas to go and land on.
All right. So I've seen some backlash in the forums here too about the fact that we won't be able to land everywhere on ArcCorp. Come on, guys. What's the point? Do we already land everywhere on Hurston or all the other planets? Of course we don't. We only go to the interesting places. So it's not going to affect the gameplay if we cannot land everywhere and just only land in specific places. Plus, what is there gonna do? There's gonna be nothing to do. Our objective is to make money and to maybe hunt down players. you know, it's easier to hunt down players where we know we're gonna find them. Whereas, you know, if they have the choice to land everywhere on the planet, it's much harder. So yeah, it doesn't bother me that there will be these no-fly zones. And actually, 400 meters above ground is pretty low. So it's still going to be pretty interesting. We're still going to be able to fly over the city. So I'm not worrying about that.
Fly around. With the downtown buildings, we're looking at anywhere between the no-fly zone height to 800, maybe even a kilometer tall buildings. So these are dense enough, but there's enough of them that it can create enough of an opportunity for the player to fly around when they're going towards the spaceport in Area 18. With ArcCorp, having the no-fly zone much lower and these buildings much taller, not only will we be able to fly around them really nicely, but IFCS2 is sort of an opportunity for us to look into how to create that experience that isn't frustrating for the player. For example, if you just fly through that no-fly zone and you just die, that is a little bit annoying, having to go back to, say, your spawn zone, get your ship again, and, you know, maybe one of the things we can do that we're looking into is, as you fly past the no-fly zone, IFCS2 can warn you and take control of your ship and bring you back up.
Okay.
That's one of the things
Yeah.
we're testing.
Yeah. I like
Two
that.
more tests to go, but we're in a good balance between an experience that's fun for the player and.
So did you hear that, guys? They actually want us to fly around buildings near the landing zones. So it is something that we're gonna do. So if you guys had the fantasy to, you know, speed around, you know, some of the skyscrapers around ArcCorp, that's what we're gonna do. So no worries.
That validates art from a good enough distance. So I think the main takeaway for trying to achieve ArcCorp is to create an experience that's not only very believable, but, you know, create a sense of wonder. This city that's, you know, the size of a planet. So I think ArcCorp should be a really, really good opportunity for the players to, you know, meet up almost anywhere and create all kinds of different gameplay scenarios, like missions, which could be really interesting, and, you know, even landing on top of these buildings and maybe, you know, getting your sniper out and just watching for the right opportunity to strike against the player.
That is if there's no armistice zone,
really
of course.
excites me.
Now, while we aren't promising that you'll be able to fly or land everywhere, we are as excited as you are to fly through the man-made canyons of the city-covered planet.
I'd just be happy if the no-fly zone didn't immediately blow me up.
That's on the list too. Good. All right. And that just about wraps us up for this week's show. Remember, the Tumbril Cyclone commercial contest is still accepting entries.
All right, cool. An interesting episode. Always fun to see what they're doing with ArcCorp and 3.5. I cannot wait for this patch, to be honest. You'll be the first ones to know as soon as I'm in the PDU. You'll have tons of videos of gameplay, what's coming up. Yeah. Again, I'm so... where is that? Where is it? Where is my little... There it is. That's Microtech. If you guys think it's Microtech, tell me down in the comments below. If you think that's another planet also, I'd like to know what you think it is. Yeah, to me, that's what I'm fired up the most about, is this preview of Microtech. Anyway, guys, that's it for today. Thank you so much for coming. Have a great day. This is the Eradicator. I'm signing out.